the IKEA effect, or maybe that's the IKEA effect. I'm never sure how to pronounce that exact name. But whatever it is, this is a store that sells furniture that needs some assembly. So if you're like me, you take the furniture home and you try to assemble it, and the process is rather frustrating. You realize that you put things in the wrong place, you realize the instructions are not clear, you have to put things back and forth, move them around, and by the end of the time, you're slightly frustrated. But the question is whether this increased investment of time and effort into something also causes us to love something more. Does it cause us to see the creation in rose-colored glasses? So, to look at this, we asked people to create origami cranes. And the question is whether people who would work to fold these origami cranes, whether it would be their own sweat and labor going into that, would they actually love them more? And this was done together with Mike Norton and Daniel Muchon, and we basically asked people to create those origami creatures. We brought them to the lab, we gave them a sheet that described the instructions of how you interpret origami folding instructions. What is a fold, what is a turn, what is a turnover, and so on. And we also gave them a sheet of paper to create the crane or frog from it. And then we gave them some time, and they did the best they could, and at the end they got some crumpled, mostly asymmetrical piece of paper that resembled something like a crane, but not exactly. And then we told the participants that they were working for us, and therefore we owned what they just created. However, we said, if you want to buy it back from us, we have a bidding procedure in which you can bid to get this particular crane back. And we use what is called the Becker-de Groot-Marshak procedure. It's a very long name, and the procedure is a little complex, but what it boils down to is that it's a procedure that is incentive compatible with people revealing the true reservation price. So if you have something and you're willing to pay $3.25 for it, the Becker-de Groot-Marshak procedure would make it so that it's in your best interest to say that exact number, not a penny more, not a penny less. So we told people that they can buy the origami back from us. We explained to them the procedure, and then they could bid as much as they wanted to get their origami back. But we had another group of people. These were non-creators. These were people who did not make the particular origami. They just came as outsider, looked at the origami, examined it in the same way, and could bid on this as well. So now we have the insider view, the view of the people who created the origami, and the outsider view, the view of people who did not make the origami. And we had one other group. In fact, what we asked was to a group of origami experts. These are people who've been folding origami for a long time and are really very, very good at this. We asked them to fold origami as well. So this time the creations were crisp, precise, and they resembled exactly the instructions on the sheet. So now we also had some professional products. And we asked the non-creators to give us prices, the willingness to pay, both for the expert-made origami and the amateur ones. Some of them evaluate the expert, some of them evaluated the amateur attempts. So these were not the same people, but they evaluated them, some these and some these. So, to recap, we have three sets of numbers to look at. We have the number that the creator thought that their own origamis were worth. This is at the top, the crumbled origami, and it's how it's viewed by the creator. We have the crumpled origami made by amateur, but viewed by the non-creator, viewed by an outsider. And we had the professionally looked origamis and how they looked to non-creator. And now the question is, did the creators value the origami differently than the non-creators? What do you think? And if so, what was the difference? In which direction? And by how much more or less?